Well, hello there. Today, I want to talk about parent power and what you should know about your child's academics. There have been a lot of stories in the news lately about issues and challenges in the school system. And I'm actually not here to bash the school system or anything like that. What I am here to talk about today is how you, as a parent, have the power to make a difference in your child's academics. There was a story that came out recently indicating that 1 out of 4 students in a school, actually a whole school system, were actually graduated without the proper academic requirements. 1 out of 4, 25% of the students who graduated, 1/4 of all the students that graduated out of this whole system were not ready, did not have the things they were supposed to have in order to graduate. And the question I have is not so much about the school, but about the parent. And my question would be, how could those parents have been aware that their students actually were not ready, did not have the requirements needed? Because I believe the power is with the parent. Now, there are some things you have no control over, but there are some things that you do. And so, what opportunities did those parents miss? When I thought about the situation, I thought, wow, some of it was about attendance. And so I think as parents, when our students get to high school, we make assumptions about their independence. They've got it. They can handle it. When I was their age, I was able to do this, that, or the other. And I think sometimes when our students get to high school, we take our hands off. I think we just kind of say they got it from here, and we kind of move on with the things that we need to do, which many times there's lots that we have to do. And so I wonder, did some of those parents miss an opportunity to hold their children, their students, a little more accountable? I wonder if they could have put some things in place to confirm that those students were in fact attending class and getting the work done that they needed to get done. Good morning, Dr. Marvin. Good to see you. I wonder if those parents could have put some other things in place, like how do you get to high school and not know your child can't read? I keep running into that. I keep running into high school students who write very poorly, whose reading is atrocious, who don't know their multiplication facts. And we're always looking at the school, and yes, we should. But as a parent, you have an opportunity. When was the last time you had your student, whether elementary, middle, or high, sit down and read to you? You guys could read the newspaper together. You can get a book that you really like and say, let's read it. Let's sit down maybe on Sunday afternoons and let's read together. Do you really know if your child can read? Or are you just assuming because they get an A in English at school, they're doing okay? Because guess what? There are some teachers that are so overwhelmed because they may have 100 students that they have to see every day, that they are not checking the work, that writing that's getting turned in. For some students, the A grade is about the fact that they turned it in. It's not about the fact that their grammar was correct, they followed the proper rules for writing an essay. The teacher may not have had time to look at it. So if the teacher does not have time to look at it and is given a check for it being turned in, then that child may be getting an A in English, but still not be able to write. still might not know the parts of grammar, still not be able to read, might not even know their phonics, and they're in high school. And so now they graduate. And guess what? We tell them, okay, go down to you're going on to college. And they take the test to get into college. And they have to take what they call developmental classes. They are remedial classes for students who did not get the rigor, the things that they needed when they're in high school. And so the colleges are like loving it because they're making money. And so I know of one college in our area where they take the math all the way back to basic math in college. So these students are taking developmental classes. Good morning, Michelle. These students are taking developmental classes for basic math in college, which they have to pay for, or their parents. And some of them are spending 2 and 3 years on developmental classes that they have to pay for subjects that they should have gotten when they were in high school. A missed opportunity for a parent to know. As a parent, we've got to know where our students are. We ultimately are still responsible. You know, when we send them off to school, or when we hire a tutor, or when we have them do an online class, we ultimately are still responsible for what they're learning and for how well they are doing. We just kind of pull these teams together of different people that help us get it done. But ultimately, we are still, the parent, responsible. And so I want to encourage you. As a parent, you have way more power than you know. But you got to get a little more engaged with the process. It doesn't matter whether your child is elementary, middle, or high school. You have to know what's going on. Whether you send them to public school or private school, or you homeschool. Even in homeschool, sometimes students are given the work and they're allowed to check the work, or the work doesn't get checked for a long time, and they've been making a mistake in their math for months and it doesn't get caught. And so they've actually been practicing doing it wrong. Whatever way you decide to educate your child, you have to know what's going on, which means you may have to let some things go. In order to have access to the power that you have as a parent over your child's education, you have to be present. You have to be available. That's an opportunity for you as a parent to be available enough that that child knows, wow, this is going to get checked. This is going to be, looked at. I have a saying that don't expect what you don't inspect. If you're not going to take the time to check it out, to look and see if they got it done, you are not going to get the results that you want. I do this thing with parents when I'm coaching them. I do something called oversight, and the parent and the student will come in and they will sit and show me the work that they're doing in each of the areas, each subject. And invariably, I'll have a parent who comes in with their child, and the child is not the stuff is not together. It's not in order according to the procedures that I've given them. And it's, stuff got left at home. And the parent will invariably turn to the child and say, Johnny, didn't I tell you to, do so-and-so? I told you to get that. And, there are times when I actually have to excuse the student out of the room. And I have to sit mom and dad down, or whoever has come with that child. And I have to remind them, this is not the child's responsibility. It's yours. So I understand you told Johnny to get this together and to prepare that and to remember this. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you are the one that is going to be held responsible for the quality of what Johnny is doing. So as a parent, we don't ever want to get to a place where we're in high school, our child is in high school, and we don't know that they can't read well, or their writing is atrocious. The summertime, this is a great time to really do a little digging If you have never or haven't had the time to really just sit and see what your child knows, take this summer to have them start doing some writing assignments for you. Okay, you want to go to this place on the weekend, or you want to do that? This is what I need you to do. I need you to write me an essay about. See if they know how to put an essay together. I need you to tell me about whether you have your math facts mastered. What's 3 times 5? Just sit there and find out. There's too many students coming across my desk who don't know their multiplication facts. In fact, they're saying that in some of their schools, they're not required to use them anymore. They just hand them a calculator. It's not good enough. And so as a parent, I want to encourage you that you have the power, but you must be present. And not just in elementary school, not just in middle school. You must be present even in high school. When was the last time you dropped into your child's high school and just checked out what was going on? Do the teachers and the administrative staff, do they know who you are? Have you ever walked through their schools to just see what it's like? Is it chaotic? Is it organized? Is it quiet? Is it crazy? Stop by a class to see, does a teacher have things in control, or are the students in control? Because sometimes our students are not giving us all the information. Maybe they don't know that it should be different. Maybe they're afraid to snitch, which is a whole nother video about what kids, believe and what they shouldn't do and what they shouldn't tell. And so there are some things that we as parents, we must begin to get involved and check in on. We must be willing to take off time from work and go and see what is going on with our student. There should not be any more high school students graduating from high school who have to take developmental classes, because as parents, we need to be saying, hold up, show me how to write an essay. Let me see you do these math problems. We can go to the educational store. They have books there that have the answer keys in the back. We don't have to know it. There are programs online like Khan Academy, Khan. It's a whole math program done by Bill Gates for like $5 a month. You can find out very quickly what your child actually knows. We can take this back. We don't have to have our students in Prince George's County, 25%, 1/4 of students graduating from public, private, and possibly even homeschool who are not prepared for college. See, this is not about bashing. This is about taking the power back. This is about you as a parent knowing that you can make a difference. And so this next series that I'm bringing up is helping parents understand. It's going to sound hard at times because it's time to wake up. It's time to know what's going on. It's time to step away from things that do not connect us to our children. This may be a season when you're going to have to put down some of the other things that you're doing because your children need you. So what should you know about your child's academics? You should know what the environment in the school. You should know the environment in the classroom. You should know, is the teacher checking the work? You should know if your child can really read. You should know. And you have the opportunity to know. Because there's somebody who's crying out in the wilderness. Hey guys, we have an opportunity. Let's not miss it. Let's dig a little deeper. Summer's coming. Let's find out what our child really knows. So then in the fall, we can really give them what they need to be successful. So that when our child goes on to college or to trade school or to career, they are more than prepared. I'm Anita Gibson. I am a coach, speaker, educational strategist, and I am the author of the book Starfinder. And I am determined that every parent is going to get their power so that they can make amazing and life-changing differences in their child's academics. I love you guys. Have a great day.